I am Dr. M. Amuda, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, 3V College for Women, Virudhunagar. I welcome you all for this video session, Value Added Course Forensic Chemistry, conducted by Department of Chemistry. In this video, we are going to discuss about the key components of forensic investigation. How do we recording of a crime scene and how do we a search of evidences. First one, crime scene, preservation of the crime scene, recording of the crime scene. Sketching the crime scene, the investigator must make a rough sketch of the crime scene. Next one, the sketches in combination with the photography provide an ideal presentation of the scene. The sketch of the scene of occurrence should be prepared at the site and not at any other place. The distance should be measured exactly and not by approximation. The directions should be indicated with the help of the compass. The sketch should show and locate important objects at the scene. Unimportant objects should be omitted. A crime scene investigation. This is the crime scene. One scientist is taking photograph, another one is collecting the evidences, the third person taking the notes. One bird's eye view photograph is also taken. Photograph and document the scene, collect the trace materials especially from probable points of the entry, collect low level DNA evidence by swabbing areas of likely contact, collect other items that may contain biological evidence, locate and collect latent fingerprints. Then sketch and mapping the scene. What is the role of sketch? A crime scene sketch is a permanent record of the size and distance relationship of the crime scene and the physical evidence within it. The sketch serves to clarify the special information present within the photographs and video documentation because the other methods do not allow the viewer to easily gauge distances and dimensions. A sketch is the most simplistic manner in which to present crime scene layout and measurements. Why is a sketch important to crime scene documentation? It accurately portrays the physical facts. It relates to the sequence of events at the scene. It establishes the precise location and relationship of objects and evidence at the scene. It helps to create a mental picture of the scene for those not present. It is a permanent record of the scene. It usually is admissible in court. It assists in interviewing and interrogating, in preparing the written investigative report, in presenting the case in court. Well prepared sketches and drawings help judges, juries, witnesses, and others to visualize the crime scene. So, sketching is a very important point in documentation. Next one, sketches are used to supplement the photographs, especially spatial relationship between objects. Sketches should depict the overall layout of the scene and contain all the necessary information for the investigator to complete a final version. Types of sketches may include the following: entire scene. One should take the entire scene of the crime place. Next one, bird's eye view, an overhead view of the scene. Elevation sketch, cross projection sketch, walls, windows, and doors are drawn as through the walls had been folded out flat on the floor. Three-dimensional sketch. Triangulation method. Two or more reference points are located. The item of evidence or interest is then documented by measuring along a straight line from the reference points to the items. Identify scene dimensions. Locate the focal point of the scene. Establish a perimeter large enough to contain relevant evidence. It's better to establish a larger scene than needed. Establish security. Tape around the perimeter depending on the number of people. Consider security guards. Create a plan and communicate. Determine the type of crime that occurred. Identify any threats to evidence, such as whether. Consider if additional resources are necessary. Suppose in crime scene, if we need any other documents or resources, we also should collect the evidences. Communicate with your team about how to proceed. Outdoor crime scenes are more vulnerable to loss due to elements. Conduct primary survey, identify potential evidence, capture photographs and take good notes. Document and process scene. Using the plan from step 3, begin processing the scene, collect all evidence and keep detailed documentation. Conduct secondary survey also. Conduct another walkthrough to ensure everything has been processed and recorded. A recording of notes. The notes should cover the following aspects of the crime scene: the data and time of the FIR, the nature of crime, location of crime scene, and a brief description of the area. Brief facts of the crime: the names of all officers, witnesses, investigators, and special personnel at the crime scene. The name of personnel who took the photography, fingerprint, sketches, etc. The weather and lighting condition at the time of recording the scene, the description of the interior and exterior of the crime scene, number of room, door, windows, etc. These all things must be recorded in the notes. The location and collection of evidence of the crime scene, the date and time of completion of recording and examining of the crime scene. Photography. Photography is also a important documentation. The scene of occurrence should be photographed as a matter of routine. It's a supplement to the above methods of recording and often the best way to record and illustrate the details of a crime scene and its evidence. In order to tell the story of scene graphically and coherently, an orderly progression of shots will be required. The subject matter of the crime scene photography should move from the general to the specific. With modern times, the crimes have increased and the nature, technique of the crime has also changed. Therefore, it is very important that the police machinery and the investigation machinery also use forensic science to detect crime. Intelligent criminals have been quick to exploit science for their criminal acts. On the other hand, police investigators are no longer able to rely on his age old art of intelligence. Therefore, it is necessary that forensic science be used in the criminal investigation to elevate the nature and type and detection of the crime. Photography and videography. The primary means of crime scene documentation is still photography. It is important to keep the scene preserved and not move anything until it is photographed. The photographer must be able to testify that the photograph is a true and accurate representation of the scene at the time of the photograph was taken. Crime scene photographs should reveal a detailed chronological story of the scene, which may need to be presented at a later time. A documentation of the scene by taking notes. Record the condition of the scene as it existed upon arrival. Continuously update notes during the course of the investigation. Include such as factors, victim and witness statements. Next one, individuals present at the scene, lighting conditions, open doors and windows, odors, signs of unusual activity explains as necessary. A date and time indicators such as newspapers or mail, general descriptions of the scene and surrounding area, potential evidentiary items and location. These all should be noted to verify the evidences. Thank you. Crime or the reason for the crime by identifying these tools. Thank you. We will see in the next video.